Hi.
Hi.
Hey, everybody, Boop. Hey,
Thank you for,
Heather.
oh, hi.
Hi.
Yep, you got the crazy duo here.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Teresa, Gypsy, Joe.
Oh, yes. Teresa Levine. Oh, you're always popping up, Teresa, these days. I appreciate you so much. And I did get a private, oh, that was you, Boop. I'm like, I got a private message already. And it was you.
Yeah. When I came out.
So, everybody, thank you for joining Tanji and I today. As I continue my segment, Herstory, bringing women artists perform from all different genres, performing arts,
Different
fine
mediums.
art,
Yeah.
painting, acting, theater,
Hey, Dan.
sculpture. So, oh, there's Ben. So we'll be also
Sculpture.
doing next Monday. I'll keep. Stay tuned for a special announcement. We'll say
Oh,
it
okay.
that way because next Monday we might be back. We'll have to let you know.
Yeah.
So
It'll be very special. Put it that way.
yes, we are reading on Georgia O'Keeffe today, and I'm just doing a small blurb just so that we know when she was born and when she passed and exactly, a little bit of what she did and what she looked like. Because Tanji, would you like to explain to any of my fellow subscribers how you read if they're not familiar?
Okay, so when I'm doing readings from I channel messages, psychic medium. I have a Roman Biscotti channel. My alter ego, she does stuff on her channel like for fun, and I do my psychic reading stuff on there, and I delete those fun videos. I delete them shortly after. I keep it up mostly for my Roman Biscotti. So the first time I did a public psychic channeled message reading for a celebrity publicly was last week with Heather when we did Varro. And I like to not know anything until after I do research and everything. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. So I got this, and oh, I know that. And that's my same with Georgia O'Keeffe. I know her, but I don't. And I've forgotten if I did know something, I've forgotten. I don't want to know anything. Thanks, Ben. Hi, Dina. And I had a special dream before we did Varro last week, and now I had a special dream. And I talk about it in the announcement video on my channel, Roman Biscotti. I'll delete it after the live, though. But there's special info about the dream I had. And I just put two videos in for fun to try to give people a sense of what I was dreaming about these giant trees and this museum art outdoor cemetery. And then I'm like, okay, Georgia, come through, tell me what you want. And she's going to be helping me. And the big thing I'm getting about her, and I don't know anything about her, I told Heather to not tell me anything until it's absolutely necessary or until after the live. The burnt orange colors, sunflower color or sunflower, giant trees, redwoods, preserving wood, Aztec-y type, like a giant, like the tablets that Moses had. Giant tablets. Everything was askew. The trees were askew, but they were in perfect condition and they were gorgeous and huge, like a redwood, a pine, and a baobab mixed in one, with this orange hue, sunset color all over. I think it was in America. And I was visiting, and I was there a couple of times during that visit throughout the day. And the second time I came back, and I was looking at it even more, wow, everything's the same, like the sunset color never left. So it's that sunset burnt orange, fiery colors. Art outdoor museum connection. Maybe Aztec fascination or collection or connection. Connection. My thing's gonna shoom off my head. I can feel it. It's going. And something about driving sideways and when I was leaving the cemetery museum outdoor art exhibit. It was privately owned by 12 people, like a council, who wanted to always keep it public and never allow the government, this is the dream, and never allow the government or anyone else to have it because they wanted to keep it to the public. It's
Mhm.
privately owned by these 12 people who were old. I never saw them, but in my head, I was processing, okay, they're group of 12, could be a group of 7 too, relation, art group. So there it goes. Something to do with keeping it in the family, but allowing it for the public type of thing.
Mhm.
And it was it was like not, it wasn't overwhelming, but it felt like it was larger than life. Let's put it that way. And I needed that. I felt like I needed this space of lots of wood, and it was all shellacked and perfectly preserved. And everything looked naturally off, askew, slightly abstract. Nothing was straight. And it was so beautiful. And I remember feeling, this
Mhm.
is like the best thing ever I've ever been. Like, I've never seen anything like this. And it was somewhere in the States. So that's all I know pre-info. And now
And
you can tell me what you want if it's related to that part.
well, with
Yeah.
the I just want to let everybody know too.
Yes.
My dreams. I've been trying to really fight to keep remembering them because I have so many at night that when I wake up first thing in the morning, they start to dissipate really quick. And I'm trying to get down, okay, this was this is what this people were in here. But there was one point where I woke up and the only thing I could think of that this one image reminded me of was a gold Aztec like pyramid from South America. And so
And I had the Aztec tablet, and you had the gold pyramid.
and there was a procession. Somebody had passed, and so there was a funerary procession going by.
Oh,
But it was for
wow.
but it was weird because it was for like a young boy or a young child. So I don't know how that I can't see that fitting with Georgia, but you never know.
But our
But still,
dreams are connected that way, though. That's the Aztec
mm-hmm,
connection. Did you
yeah.
have any, or you no, you said gold, and I had orange. I had that sunset color
Yeah, when
everywhere.
something hits and it turns like to that liquid gold
There was
and
gold, like
right.
burnt orange, gold, yellow, like red, all that all in one, like as if you
Mm-hmm.
were standing in if a cemetery outdoor museum art show. Uh, that was permanent and privately owned for the public. It was doused in that color as if you were in the sunset glow, like permanent. It was always that color, and I was like, wow, it was
Yeah.
great.
Just really quick. Hi Amy. Hi Deb H from Purple Elephant. Teresa Levine is still here with us. I want to make sure Ben got everybody. Thank you. Nancy Riker popped in while we were talking. So welcome Nancy.
Nancy.
And now do you want me to wait till you finish your code read first before? Well, first of all, let me just introduce the artist. I'm sure a lot of us don't need
Oh,
any
and a third bumblebee was in the house again today within a week. So I don't know if that connects, but I love bumblebees. And the big fat juicy bumblebee was in the kitchen again. That's the third time in 10 days.
girl, we got to talk about bees after
I
all
don't know
that.
how they're coming in, but I love bumbles. So it's okay. All right,
Because yeah,
tell me if it's connected with what I've already said. Tell me if
yes,
it's, but I don't want to
artist for
know
life, the
big
colors.
stuff. Yeah, laughter.
So Georgia O'Keeffe. Oh, how interesting. Oh, you're not gonna believe. I never knew this was her middle name. You and Ben ready?
Ready?
Toto.
T-O-T-O?
T-O-T-T-O. There's an extra T in there.
Toto. Wow.
And that'll be giving somebody a hint
Toto.
into possibly next
Oh,
month.
yeah.
That's why I said Toto.
Connected.
I mean, I've been watching documentaries on her, and they never say what her, one of her middle names are. So that just kind of blew me away. But
Wow.
Georgia O'Keeffe was born on November 15th, 1887, and she passed on March 6th, 1986. She was just 2 years old for being 100.
She didn't pass in or live in the States, did she?
Yes, she did.
Was any Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania connection? Just curious because of the video I added in my.
Not that I know of. She was mostly from Wisconsin,
Okay. Ah.
and she had moved to try not to give too much
Yeah.
information, but she did make it to New York City to go to school.
Okay.
And so over her years, she was connected with teaching back and forth between Wisconsin, Texas, and New York City while going with school. And then at one point in her life, she found her her haven, her sanctuary, her true love, and that was the American Southwest.
Wow.
And
Okay.
out there, they have um, this in Taos area, Santa Fe. So you have that Mexican, Aztec art, Native American
Right.
Pueblo up in there, and the colors are rust, orange,
And yellow.
and the different angles are ways that she painted some of the buildings in her
Yeah, all
style
the
of
trees were
work.
askew. Nothing was straight, but it was
Nope.
like beautiful. It was
Hmm.
purpose in my dream. It was placed
I
that way.
haven't been able to figure the 12, but she does have a museum dedicated all to her, by the legacy that she left behind. So they have a Georgia O'Keeffe
Where's that?
Museum, and that's in just out. Let me see now. There's different parts because she was in Abiquiu, she was up at Ghost Ranch, and I'm trying to remember exactly where they. She was actually known as the mother of American modernism.
Ooh.
So let me see if I can find exactly. Um, her career. I mean, I know a lot about her personal life, but when they start jumping all over New Mexico, I got confused a little bit. But
There's
you
so
know
there
what,
is
as
some kind
well,
of Aztec connection, I'm
Tangi, I
sure.
just thought of something.
What?
People who the museum, the art museum, there's a board. They have to have board members.
Are there 12?
I don't know, but they're board members. That just jumped right into my head. So, and
Right,
in that
Amy?
area, there are a lot of old fashioned cemeteries from the moving out west, your cowboy and everything.
Right.
So there are a lot of cemeteries all over Tombstone, New Mexico, and I mean, they're scattered all over the place, and
I
a lot of
wonder
them
if
have like
where
the
she's
wrought iron.
buried is sorry. I wonder if where she's buried is if they're having some kind of if there's something special there for her, like
See, I have never heard anything
legacy?
in the videos about her, or in my book that I have on her about where she lived.
Sure.
But just one of the reasons too I wanted to do Georgia O'Keeffe is that, well, I've been following her since my junior year in
Yeah.
high school. Was that there had been a show within the last few months that channeled Georgia O'Keeffe, and one of the readers had said that she had been married to this one individual, which wasn't the correct individual. So I just wanted to do a video and just share what I know is
Yeah.
accurate of Georgia O'Keeffe. And she got discovered. I mean, she was already talented herself, but even back then with the women artists, a lot of them didn't get notoriety. But
Yeah.
lucky for her is that her artwork caught the eye of Alfred Stieglitz, and he was considered modern photography because he wanted modern photography to be considered an art form because it was new back then. It was just starting to gain popularity. And he saw her drawings and everything and her paintings, and he just fell in love with his artwork. And then they eventually fell in love with each other and they got married. It's a very complicated story,
I totally
even back
forgot
then,
the name.
kind of
Don't tell me the
Jerry
name.
Springer a little bit, but that's all I'm going to say.
Love it.
So let me just pull up a couple of pictures of Miss O'Keeffe. Some of
I
her.
saw the beautiful thumbnail you made was
Mhm.
beautiful.
So they're in
Yeah.
her older years. Um,
Yeah, that familiar of her in her older years is familiar to me. That photo, the familiar of
and
her.
she was very modern. Women did not wear bowler caps or men's shoes. She was very individual. She wore what she wanted to wear. So
Good.
she wore Oxford. She wore bolo caps. Um,
Love it.
she did whatever she wanted, and of course,
She was
I don't.
way ahead of her time.
Yep,
That's
and
we didn't know.
because
Where were we want?
photographer, Stieglitz like the photographer, but I'm going to say all about that because I want to see if you pick up
Yeah,
something.
save the juicy bits.
And she was very famous also for her. Everyone knows her flowers, her bones.
I don't.
And
Not. I might remember after I look at photos, but I don't. I mean,
so
how to
in
make coffee and brush my teeth. That's the info that stays in there for the day, right?
And
well, when I look
college,
after, I'm like, oh, I know that.
Yeah, and for college, I had to pick an artist I want to emulate, and so I picked one of her paintings, and I still have it because it's one of my favorite paintings. So this is from when I was 24.
Ooh. Wow. Wow.
And later on, when you go to see her work, you'll see this painting.
It's very flowery and sapphic.
Mm-hmm. And that we'll see what you pick up on that because she was very controversial.
It's very, very in your face. It's very beautiful. I love the color. So you did that emulating her.
Yeah, I took one of her paintings and I did my best to copy it so that we could learn how our chosen artists mixed their colors, how they designed their composition, how they did their the whole process of going in, kind of like getting, like with the reading right here, getting into their artistic mind and connecting with that and being able to figure out how they created their works of art. So,
George, I'm getting tons of info. She's talking to me now.
I wish she could talk to me, but I'll have to be.
Ask her. I asked my teams, and I've been talking to her like the past few days. I'm like, get ready, Georgia. You gonna come? What's happening? You wanna do this? Let's do this.
Here's a picture of her with one of her horse skulls with the flowers.
Wow.
People thought that was morbid. She thought they were absolutely beautiful. So she was kind of, one of her nicknames was the Bone Lady.
Really? The Bone Lady? And I dreamt of a cemetery art museum?
Yeah, but not human bones, animal bones.
Yeah, but bones, cemetery, you connect.
Well, when you said cemetery later, it connected with me because she would do, she did thousands of, she was 98, so she has, work that I'm still seeing that people let out every now and then that I never had any idea she created. And I'm like, that's,
I'm sure, I'm telling my brain, I'm sure, I know her stuff. I'm sure I do, but my brain's going, you don't remember anything. And I'm like, I know, but I'm good with, if you see it after we do the live, I'm going to research her completely. And there was things popping up and I'm like, no, I don't want to click on that. I don't want to look at anything on the YouTube stuff because I want to get it straight from the horse's mouth. Pardon the blood. Straight from the bone horse's mouth. Just to what she wants to say. And then I'll go and then
we'll talk more.
Sure, I'm going to go like, oh, I know her. I know this, but I can't.
Oh, no.
Think of it.
My poor. Oh. Really?
So what if they're sapphic? So what? Art is art.
Yeah.
I'd rather have, look, as a woman, as a straight woman, I would rather have a bunch of sapphic art around. I mean, I love me my gay man. You guys know, but everybody knows. I'm all about hey, I'm a gay man trapped inside a white woman's body for real. I'm telling you. But I don't, personally, I speak for me. I don't want to have a bunch of penis art. I just don't.
Yeah.
Right? I don't have anything against it. But if I have the choice between, I don't want a bunch of, woohoos in my face on the wall. But if I had a choice, if I had a famous artist's art, absolutely I would have sapphic images to honor that artist. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't be a problem because I'm seeing it as art. Now, if Andy Warhol had a bunch of, phallic symbols in multicolor, and that was an incredible painting, I would probably get that because it's Andy Warhol. But if I had the choice for a sapphic,
you like Andy Warhol?
Okay. I like Andy Warhol, but I'm not into the phallic. I don't need the decor of that. I'm just saying. But if he had a sapphic version, like flowers or something that looked sapphic, I would get that. Now, I'm not into posting bits, I call them. all over my home, but I have no problems with artists doing it because I appreciate their art. You know what I mean? Like I love to look at it, but I don't necessarily want to put it all over my walls unless it's something that I see a flower and I
And
think
that's
it's
what I
really,
love about her work. I just wanted to show one with, one of her paintings with a
that
flower
reminds
and
you of the
skull.
Arizona, is it Arizona tea, iced tea? Arizona, the famous
This is all
Arizona.
New Mexico. Yep.
Yeah, and that I
No,
wonder if they
no.
got that from her.
Well,
Oh, Laura.
what?
Too bad
Me
you
and my
couldn't get all
husband
the
get
art
along.
though, right? See, that's
Yeah.
something you'd want to have. That I think is
Laura,
very
you have a channel
important.
now?
Yeah, she's making a
Everybody's
dance.
getting
Fabulous artist. Check out Backyard
yay.
Naturalist Tarot, Laura, everybody.
Oh my goodness, I will definitely have to.
Amazing art. Yeah.
Yes. So, did you want to? I'll let you. Want me to let you go ahead and do your
Over
your
here.
third eye,
Okay.
and I'll find some pictures off to the side here. I'm going to go dark so she can do her thing, and see if I can find my one book. They had a few pictures I set aside.
All right. Thank you, darling.
Take it
Okay.
away.
Thank you, everybody. I'm tuning out. Here we go. Georgia. Okay. She's like, I've been here the whole time, darling. I know. Okay. Ready? Here we go. Sending kisses, white light chakras line, opening the gate. Da, 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 da. Ladies and gentlemen, Georgia O'Keeffe, in my mind, on the spaceship. What does she want to tell us from her perspective and point of view? So I did say the dream. The other thing was when Heather was talking, I forgot about which part. Just when she showed her painting, I heard Georgia talk about female companionship in she showed me like college. So like, people experiment in college, that kind of scenario. And there was a female close to her, I'll put it that way. Encounters. I she doesn't want me to go too much, but she liked women too. I'll just say that way.
Oh yes, she did. I didn't want to say anything, but yes.
Okay, well, she was showing me that. And she's like, she's unabashed, unapologetic. There's nothing hidden. I just don't like to go alive or dead. I don't want to get too personal about people's personal stuff, unless they tell me, yeah, say it. But she's saying, yeah, you can say. She liked women. There was female companions. One in particular, there was maybe 2 or 3 or 4, who knows. Have fun, be safe, do your woo-woo. Don't judge. But it's that inspired her a lot too, for her art, is what she wanted me to tell you. Okay. So let's see. What do you want to convey to the masses, Georgia?
When you're done, I want to see what her opinion is of my painting.
Okay. She says the afterlife is sublime. Okay, she's showing me. Now, this is odd. Normally, they show me whoever's passed okay. They normally show me themselves in the time that they feel the most beautiful. So it's usually younger. I'm seeing her older, closer to like in her like 85, 80 to 85. Maybe there was something around that moment when she felt so beautiful then, or something very important then, because she's showing me her at that age, like beautiful and a gorgeous, like one of those wingback velvet orange chair and sunset skies and beautiful, the colors of more vivid of what I was dreaming of. More placement, like she can move the color and live in her own painting. So if there's a chair in one of her paintings, then that's what she's sitting in. And she's drinking, I don't know if it's tea. It looks like tea. It could be espresso or coffee. I don't know. It looks like tea. And she's sitting it, and she looks like a female Quentin Crisp. That's all I can say. Very stylish. Quentin Crisp, an Englishman in New York.
Oh, okay.
Love him. Check him out. She looks like a very beautiful female version of Quentin, who is very effeminate, but that like stoic. Thank you. Sitting statuesque, stoic, and she's sitting there, and she's got beautiful, not robes, I don't know what you call them. Like these gorgeous, they're expensive and I want to buy a few. They're like linen, like wealthy older people wear. I don't know how to describe it. It's
I think I might know who.
Indian style, but like a solid color linen safari robe, but it's like I'll find something. It's gorgeous.
I'm looking for it. I
Yeah,
think I know what
and
you're
it's
talking
like
about.
layered. So she's got like the blouse, linen blouse, and then the grayish green, olive colored, more grayish. Uh, uh, I'm sorry. You can tell I shop at the dollar stores and thrift stores for clothes. I don't know the terms of this, but the style, I'll find it after, is layered and beautiful. And
This
yeah,
was a layered look, and
that
then there was a dress right
blouse.
later on.
What's it called? Is it
Oh,
linen?
it didn't say. It was just
It looks
random
like a
pictures.
linen and it's crinkly and beautiful and it's expensive. Yeah, those kind of,
Mhm.
you find them in like very fancy boho shops and they're not cheap. And it's like a solid color and then a scarf with different colors. And she's drinking tea and her hair is up and she looks like she's like 80, 85, 84, 85, no more than 88, mid 80s. And she's very happy and fabulous and doing great and loving the environment. Yes, that, what do you call that?
I don't know. I'll have to look later. These are just
Very
like
stylish.
portraits of her. Yeah,
Wealthy.
she was.
We had friends of the family who were like family to us. South African couple who had lots of money, beautiful home by the beach, fabulous dog, and
Yeah, Sequel's
love their
family had lots
accents.
of money.
And they had the best fabrics, and they would wear those style clothing. And they wore IKEA stuff before IKEA was popular. You know what I mean? Like those crisp boho linens and Serapi? Serapi? Is that it? That sounds familiar. Quentin Crisp, right? Fabulous. Yeah, and those comforters, you know, and they got little tassels on them, but they're so like a billion, what is it, Egyptian cotton, a billion thread count.
Oh my God, yes.
So she's dressed like that, and it's simple but elegant, and you can tell very very classy. Yeah. Okay. So what does she want to? You're welcome.
Oh my
Thank you
goodness.
for describing that in detail. Oh wow. So this came up, the clownfish.
Okay.
And look at that, very sapphic there. Whiskers, red lipstick. All right, nose hair, facial hair, growing a beard, looking beautiful even when you feel ugly. I hear.
These are some of her clothes. They have them on mannequins instead, and it's really hard to see this light one, but it's very layered, very soft.
Like like that bohemian.
Yeah, I'm trying to find this one picture of her. TANJI kept popping up last night over and over. I'm like, yes, I see it. I see it. Now because it was her in that dress, it won't let me find it.
Wow. Bonus one. Okay. Wow. Okay. So that popped out. Okay. It's not an Asian look, but you know that kind of material?
Yeah, that was some of that is some of
that
worldly.
came out. And so we got the clownfish with the bright red lips, the very stylish material. This beautiful, I know, whatever. I call it the bean, the Chicago bean. So Chicago tie and or that sculpture. I don't know who did it. Wouldn't that be funny? That was George O'Keeffe's.
She actually did things like that when she got older because her eyesight went, and the only thing she could do was feel. And she did a lot of sculptures, simple sculptures.
Okay,
and one was
and there's a lot of that orangey colored vibe in there, and then the cosmos, connecting to the cosmos. So she's traveling, she's having fun. Her art's connecting at different places you wouldn't expect, more so in certain areas and a little bit here and there. Globally, she's known globally. She's like, I'm very famous and fancy, darling, I hear. So she's talking to me like I would talk, tongue in cheek.
One of my favorite pictures of her. How she just rests her
Wow.
head, the big black hat and everything. Yep.
Oh, and that scarf, it's like that, but it's muted.
Mm-hmm.
It's Gandalf colors, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Gray, a little bit of color. I'm not seeing any white, but her hair is white,
Mm-hmm.
like gray white. It's beautiful, and it's
Yeah.
and reaching out to the cosmos and getting she's having a fabulous time on the other side, and she's actually helping to promote her work and make it more connected and available for people to see, not just hers, but
Mm-hmm.
maybe the group of 12, maybe her and other artists are on the spaceship connecting people. Okay,
Tanji, look at the windows on her museum,
I
and then
can't
look
see
at.
it. Just mom.
Oh, sorry.
You could
Here,
solo
look.
yourself.
Look.
It wasn't
Let's
a
see if I.
kimono, but it was like that, like really thick linen.
Remember how the picture you're just showing us of the cosmos, and they were in all the
Yes,
squares. So a lot of her windows
beautiful.
have that on there. Yep.
So maybe there's an upcoming show or something that she's gathering, and she's spreading the word from the other side, and others are helping. Guess what just popped out? Bones and
Mm,
flowers.
yep.
And egg.
That's what she thought they were beautiful. She didn't see anything morbid or evil about them.
Same,
To
same.
her, they were, in her words, they were very lively.
Yes,
To
that's
her.
how I feel. That's why I love skulls, and anything that looks occult or morbid is beautiful to me. Like the clownfish. She doesn't see things as ugly. Nothing is ugly to her. Everything is beautiful. Because I like, the stranger, the better type thing. So she likes my energy. She's probably like, that's why I don't mind coming to you, dear. You embrace the strange like I do. And I find it beautiful.
Yeah, she was
So,
considered eccentric back then. Oh my
which
God,
is
you're wearing
normal now,
Oxfords
right?
and men's hats and, this and that
And
instead of the.
that's totally normal now. Well, since
Hmm.
the 70s, because my mother always dressed like that, and she dressed me strange and beautiful for
I'm going
school.
to look up this words.
So
Gypsy
look, we
JJ
got the
found it.
flames. What? Sorry, what?
Gypsy JJ, just really quick. That's the word she thinks you're going for. The Sarah. I'm looking that up right now.
Serape? I think that's correct. Yeah. Hi, Mama Bear. Hi, everybody. If anyone, I haven't missed anyone,
Yes, hello
hello.
everybody coming in.
So I'm channeling Georgia O'Keeffe and getting messages from her. I said, just tell me what you want to say. So then we got the flames, and then we got the like someone, back then could look at that and go, that's very
Mm-hmm.
satanic and bad. It's not. If you look at it and you understand who Baphomet is, and or Capricorn, or um Dante's Inferno, or the writing,
Mm-hmm.
or literature mixed with art. And the human body is beautiful when respected and treated well. It can be
Mm-hmm.
a beautiful thing, right? And
Yep.
one man, what is it? Not one man's junk. One person would like the full body tattoo look, and another will go, oh, that's horrible. But that's a
Mm-hmm.
difference of opinion. That's just tastes, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Ask her what she calls her clothes.
I
I
bet
bet
she's
she's gonna stay comfortable. She's probably laughing at that one. And so embracing the strange and unusual, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then the talons. So claws, dragons. There's some. Did you have a dragon affinity? So she was with dragons. She lived with dragons and was a dragon keeper and caretaker in a past life.
Oh, in past life.
I was a dragon in a past life, so maybe it was me. Who knows? And the unity and the secret ceremony. I hear she had a secret ceremony. I don't even know if you'd know it.
No. Well, but it's understandable because back then she ran with the crowd that was all into the metaphysical, the spiritual. Spiritualism was becoming popular.
Right.
So those are the circles that she embraced.
Yeah, because to her, she's laughing and she's saying, it's okay. I'm not ashamed. Drinking the blood of a dragon through a golden chalice was normal. That was an honor. It was like an homage. It wasn't gross. It wasn't like black candles and go in a secret cave and it wasn't like that. It was It might have just been wine, but they said this is the blood of the dragons, or something.
Yeah.
Ceremony,
Like Catholics say, this is the blood of Christ.
right? A metaphor.
A metaphor.
Hey, and something to do with dragons and the unity of that. Hi, Aiden, everybody. Ben, what cards are these ones? These are the D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, medieval deck of many things, majors only. It's like a lot. Yeah, on Amazon. There's 22. And they're beautiful. They're orange. Oh, the burnt orange. I want to. She's like, show the symbol. Okay, I'm showing the symbol.
This is a serape.
Okay, it wasn't that.
But she did have, because she was in the South.
She would have had that. Yeah,
those
absolutely.
would have been like a blanket for her or for a decoration. Yes.
Okay. I'll remind me. I will. I'll get that. It's like a linen cotton. It's expensive.
Yeah.
But I always wanted them, but I can't afford them. I'm not spending $500 on a blouse. Okay. So,
well, her husband had money. The family had money, so that's where they were able to.
She looks great.
Be able to.
Okay, let's get it. What do you want to say? She's sitting in her chair. She has a lamp on now. She's turned the lamp on or off. I'm not sure.
Can I ask her a quick question? Is she still painting on the other side?
Oh yeah, she's still creating. She's that Cosmos Connection card. Helping other artists and inspiring other people through her work and other women's work too. Like, she's not even taking credit for exposing another artist and allowing them to shine. She could be coming to them through their dreams. She's guiding them, I hear.
Tanji.
Dreams.
I set that aside a little while ago.
Okay. Oh, right. So queen, throne, crown, sword, scale, book, column, monster, justice. There's dragon again. There's dragon connection with her. The book. She loved the book. There's a book, a red back. It looks red. She's showing me a red, beautiful book. First edition, classic, 18-something, 1893 or 1880s, 83. 18.
Yeah, she lived almost to be 100, so she experienced a lot.
So there's a red leather-bound book or a red linen book about dragons or story or something that she loved. So a side to her, thank you, medieval template. There was a side to her she didn't necessarily incorporate in her art. For example, she could have decorated her home with the Knights Templar or medieval style, but didn't paint that.
Because she was into lithography.
Huh?
She did lithography and stuff for companies, and before she took off, she would do like advertisement art with illustrations and things.
Oh,
so
wow!
That's a lot stylized. So that's how she made a little bit money too on her own with her art before,
right?
Doing teaching and stuff too. So, but I'll be quiet.
That would explain, like, she's like, I didn't always advertise it. You didn't always know it was her. That's what I'm getting. Or she didn't make it public. Then we got the Wheel of Fortune again. There's like shields, and there's the dragon again.
Oh wow! I'm looking to see if I got anything dragon.
Dragon connection, taking chances. She loved to take chances. She would just go, like, people would say, the odds are against you, and she'd say, fuck that. The odds are for me. You're telling me not to, I'm going to do it.
Oh, yeah. She didn't let anybody tell her what to do, especially Stieglitz. People even interviewing her in the 80s would say, well, he let you do that. And she goes, he didn't let me do it. I just decided to do it myself. So there you go.
Okay, we're going to do 2 more and wrap it up, she says, and then let Heather speak. Okay, fine. A little bit bossy, but that's okay.
Oh, she was.
Requires skill and balance. So she did a multitude of things that I'm going to say her words, and I don't want to hear nothing about it. She says, I did things men couldn't do. for whatever reason. They didn't have the courage to do it. I'm verbatim quoting her. They didn't have the balls to do it. So I did. Literally, they didn't have the balls to do it. So I did.
I know what you might be referring to that.
Balls. We're going to find that out. Maybe an umbrella, whatever. But the balls. She's laughing now. She has a very distinct laugh. Purposeful laugh. Okay. She's showing me, I don't know if it's a filling in her mouth or if there was a decay in her tooth or something happened with her tooth. Like she laughed and I saw like the black, like I have those fillings. It looks like black, but it's not. It's a filling. The old the mercury for whatever it is. Stainless steel, magnetic, I don't know, titanium alloy spaceship part filling. So when she opened her mouth and laughed, I saw a dark spot on her tooth, on her molar. So I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's because she had fillings or she had a tooth removed, or there was problem like tooth decay. She had it removed. It was dealt with. It wasn't a problem any longer, dear. Okay.
So Gypsy, I'm not sure what you are referring to.
Oh, the name of the clothing. I'll find it.
Oh, okay.
I think that's what she meant. And guess what came out? Unicorn magic. She loved exotic beasts. So I could see her stroking the equine vest. I don't know what that means. Equine vest. Maybe she make clothes? Did she? Okay, this is what she should. So, like for friends and family only, and the public wouldn't know. She, for example, could have made a vest or a blanket for an animal, like a horse blanket or I'm getting a vest. She's saying a vest, so I don't know what that means, but I could see her stroking the animals. You know that you're so beautiful. I would do that too with the horses. Equine vest, something for animal or horsehair that used horsehair. Vest. She says, "Say vest." I did. Okay, and then one more page you want to show. Tell Heather what number to pick. 1 to 60. 1 to 67 for Georgia.
52. That just jumped right in my head.
Okay, thank you, darling. My light's flashing. Paranormal visitor. What's at the end of your bed? Hello, little one. So, mommy, invisible things so you can only see, that you cannot see with the naked eye. There's a doll, the baby Biscotti, in the end of the bed. Paranormal visitor. So, you may see her. Don't be scared. She had.
I was just going to. I've never
had
seen her,
visits.
but, yeah.
She had ghost visits, and she would communicate with people who passed on. Now, I don't know if it's through dreams or artists do, though. You know, artists, when you tune in and you zone out, you channel and you can see things. That was normal for her. At first, she got skittish and scared, but then she embraced it. By the time she was 34, she's talking fast. By the time she was 34, she regularly incorporated it into her work, and she was guided and helped. By the time she was 37, turning 38, she had already superseded what was bound to do. Hold on, slow down, please. Between 39, there were sections, 34 to 37, 37, 39, 39 to 42. Different guides would help her.
That makes a lot of sense.
Whew, she's like, yeah, you did it. Okay. Thank you, darling. Thank you, Georgia.
Can you ask her a question for me?
Okay. Oh, now you can ask her questions.
Oh, I wanted to ask.
You can ask. I had to close the gate for me.
I know, but I'm not going to get the answer probably like you could. But anyway, I just want to know what she's
still there. I'm still doing the session, but I close the gate when I'm asking her stuff.
Okay.
So you ask, and then I open the gate. You get what I mean?
Oh, yeah, I just wanted to know
your question.
My question was what
you not watch my lives, girl.
What she thought of the painting that I did of hers, you know, if I did her honor.
You want to know if you did her honor. Oh, she's yelling. Absolutely. Okay, hold on.
I'm showing people. I don't think they've seen it, but this is one of my paintings of George's.
I feel very light. She loves it.
Okay. She
says a dash and a splash of color here. I don't know what that means.
Thank you. or
Whoa!
lunch.
This flew out.
She loves it.
Star and Vizier, like wizard. Look, he's got that kind of robe, except it wasn't teal; it was gray.
Mm-hmm.
Starry and dreamy. And if you wanted to do something with the cosmos or star, like she loves this. She's there now. This is her canvas. She loves playing with the constellations. She appreciates those who emulate her, but she wants to give, like, to leave her work with the humans and go, you guys do what you want with it. I'm working with the cosmos now, I hear. You know what I mean? She's turned into a wizard and working with, like, she's creating art with the stars. So she's still creating. She loves what you've done. It's very light,
Thank you.
and I feel very
Thank you,
light.
Georgia.
Like she just made me feel very light. So whatever that means to you, floaty. I feel so free,
Yeah.
like
Mm-hmm.
that. You're welcome. Thank you, Georgia. You want to stick around? She's gonna hang around. Okay, close the gate. Thank
All
you.
right.
You went like kisses, chakras align.
Woo. Uh-oh, my screen popped out. That's not
What,
good.
Gypsy? See, you see that, but I see a flower, and people would say it would be sapphic art, but I would see it as flower. Hi, Gerald. How you doing?
Now, what? Because I've watched her one thing over and over again. So her take was, and I think this is some BS. I'm just going to be straight with Georgia, and I think a lot of us know it too. But back then, she, with everyone saying that it was a representation of, hidden Freudian desires and men going, it's, what we want. She lets us know what it's like to give, what it feels like to feel the womb, all this stuff back then. And she was, according to her, mortified by the fact that people saw what they saw in her artwork. But at the
I
same
can
time, when
relate.
you look at it, you can very well see, because up to that point too, her and Alfred Stieglitz, well, he was still married. Those two had and no judge, but they had gone and had a relationship, and because of him being a photographer, he took all sorts of pictures, and a lot of them were nudes up close. He would like abstract certain things, parts of them, and so when you look at some of his photographs, and then you look at her paintings, you can feel and sense that feminine representation of, I don't care if they allow me to say it or not, but of the vagina, of the reproductive organs. And to her, she said she was, kind of mortified by that, but at the same time, I think she knew that, some of her work like that would put her maybe a little bit more in the spotlight. However, at one point, even though they had an open marriage, when you in the beginning, when you said that she said, oh, I had relationships with women as well.
Yeah.
I could tell that from looking at pictures
It
when
was
I
not a
was
problem
early
to her,
in
not a secret.
college.
Right.
And her one friend that she may have had a relationship with, I'm not sure, but her name, now watch, I'm nervous. So, but Anita Pulitzer was a member of the women's vote movement, the suffragettes of suffragette.
Related to the Pulitzer Prize?
Um, no, Pulitzer,
Okay. Not
Pollilitzer.
Okay.
And so she actually took charcoal drawings that Georgia did that she sent to Anita. Now, don't show anybody else. What do you think of these? Because she was, teaching at the time, and that's what she was doing finally. She said she would create these images, but in shapes and colors. She didn't know where they came from, but she had to put them down.
Right.
And so there goes the channeling. And so Anita went ahead and did exactly the opposite. She took them to Stieglitz and said, I want to show you some drawings. And he just absolutely fell in love with her artwork. And then eventually, they got together. They ended up getting married. And so summers were spent between Lake George, where she did a lot of her famous paintings, with the
Where
flowers.
is that located?
Lake George is in New York. And I believe it's upstate New York, but off to I'm looking at the map, and it's upstate, but going a little bit towards the west. But it wasn't that far from New York City where she was going to school,
Nice.
and so
Quickly, would you sell that painting to Gypsy JJ?
oh.
You got a buyer. We just talked about before you're live. What did I say to you?
I know, but that I've had that since I was 23 years old.
But I'm just, you do what you want. I'm just going to say what my guys are screaming.
JJ, you'll have to let
You
me
want to
think about
sell
that.
art? Oh, someone wants to buy your art. I don't want to sell it. Okay, universe asks. Oh, do you want to sell your art or you don't want to sell your art? I'm confused.
Oh, I have like 500 other pieces of art. But
Honey,
no,
take
JJ.
a photo of it, and if you can
I
sell it
know.
to someone who wants it, why not?
I
Plus,
I
you
know.
know, do what you want. Do what you want. But as an artist who wants to sell their art, and then someone wants to buy it, you can't say, "I can't sell that." I mean,
A copy. Gypsy will talk.
you know how much
We'll
stuff
work
I've
something
sold that I'm just so happy I got rid of.
I know.
Right? Oh, a copy. Oh, like a lithograph, like a post, like a, what do you call that? A scanned poster version? 50 on the time.
250.
Anyway, sorry. Continue. Yes. I had
So,
to.
one of the things that when you said that touched me right away with Georgia was that she could do things that men didn't do. And one of the things that jumped right into my head was that when she was living in New York City, she was fascinated by the city with the tall buildings. And she would go out at night and walk around and look at the buildings, and um, she did a whole like skyscraper series. And Stieglitz has said to her, well, no guy, no man's been, artists have been painting those. Why do you feel that you got to do it?
See the buildings in the back?
Uh-huh. So
That came up
he was
earlier.
like, well, men aren't doing it. What makes you think you're going to, be able to do it? And she proved it. She did.
Good for her.
So, however, during their open marriage, he did cross the line. He did not put her first, their marriage relationship first, and it hurt her terribly. And so she ended up taking off to New Mexico. She had never been there, and when she got there, she found her home. It was like a whole world, and
With
she
their
said,
horses?
oh my goodness, yes. This is going back to the cowboy days.
Yeah, she loved the
Um,
equine and the vest. I don't know what that
well,
is.
she does one of her paintings. She's got several paintings that has a horse skull in it that she painted. And one of her favorite.
Maybe she had a vest she wore when she rode a horse. That could be the horse vest.
Oh yeah, there's lots of photographs I'm sure of her out there, that are going to be circling around in books pretty soon,
Right.
Or have been already. But when she said there was something different, that the air was different, the sky was different, and one of the first cards I got was Grandfather Sky. She loved stars. She loved looking up through the trees and painting stars. Um, and that's why I pulled out my native spirit cards, because these are mostly from the desert. She loved the spirit of the earth. She fell in love with it.
And what are those cards again?
They're called Native Spirit Oracle by Denise Lynn. And for her, I got the Vision Quest card. I mean, all these represent the landscapes, that she saw. Spirit Keeper of the South. She felt like that was her, because she always said that was her sanctuary. And my other cards, I got the sanctuary card for her. She did have a river that was flowing by, and I got the flowing river card. And she was connected with the native indigenous peoples of the area. There was a American white woman there that was married to a native gentleman. They had money, and she had. Her name is leaving me at the moment, but she had Hemingway and all these people. If you were somebody in New York in that circle,
right,
she had you come out and stay with her. D.H. Lawrence painted tiles and things for her in her bathroom and whatnot. So she definitely networked. She had patience, and it's interesting that the girl's eyes are covered like she's crying, but she had no shame real in anything that she did. And when she was a child, she was 6, 7 years old. She asked one of her classmates, "Do you know what you're going to do when you grow up?" And the little girl said, "No." And she told this little girl, and her name is Lena Buckles. She could remember that even into her 90s. And she told her, "I was going to be a painter." At 6, 7 years old, she knew she was going to be a painter. And for her art, it was a very special perception of her art.
Had a linen dress. Just saying.
And
Like
what
like
she,
the linen.
yep, there you go.
Mm.
And the one thing that she loved about her, the art that she did, was that you could walk by a painting, a still life of beautiful vase of flowers, and people will be like, "Oh, that's pretty," and then you walk past it. Whereas she took time to actually say, "Have you really sat down
Yeah.
on the earth, got into the ground, and got up into these flowers?" And that's why she did those. Her paintings got a little bit more abstract, but she wanted to go in and go in more, and just do the basic shapes and what people pass by and don't see that makes up this beautiful flower. Or look at all the components. Same
Right.
thing with the body and the emotions and these images she was getting. It all had to do with how she saw her perception of nature.
I also
Um,
like to see art on its side and upside down and through a mirror. I like to look at it through different
Different
perspectives.
angles.
Yeah.
Yep. And then for her, her
Hang
art. Yep, her
on.
art was her release. And I love how she's got the little horns on this one for this card too. Um, Change did come. Her work did change when she moved to.
Wait, is that linen? Is she wearing linen? Let me see
Oh,
that card.
I know. These are supposed to
Like,
be like Victorian era.
yeah, but it's loose. That's what she was wearing, as if it was draped on her. It wasn't like poofy,
Oh,
but it's linen.
okay.
It was like Gandalf would wear. I don't know. It's hard to explain. It was fancy, expensive. I know the South African family that was our like family to us wore expensive clothing like that.
Hi, Nancy. So she
Sorry,
left.
continue.
She went to New Mexico, but Stieglitz never would leave New York. He would never come out to see where she was or be with her. But for the remainder of the years, because she was 25, he was 25 years older than her.
Oh
Um,
wow.
so, yep.
I guess.
And so, back and forth, she would go to the Lake George. She would get there early because she loved the gardening. She loved getting the place ready for the family, the big family coming. And so, when he finally passed away, that was the major change for her. She sold everything, settled his estate, and she made New Mexico her new home, her new beginnings, and she felt protected um, there.
Mm.
That the place gave her hope. Um, and everything that she did was her choice, her decision. Nobody told her what to do. And the last card on the bottom was nature, her love of nature. Um, but yeah, there are just so many aspects. I mean, Georgia even was a suffragette herself and often marched with Anita and the other women in her chapter in the area. And to this day, a lot of women still look up to her, as an artist, for being able to. And then there's some, like my college professor, who didn't like her artwork and thought she only got famous because, you know, a man took,
Controversial.
because it took, a guy to get her out there and not really her artwork. But I still love Connie. She's cool, but, but Connie knew I loved Georgia because Georgia and Monet were my favorite artists at the time when I started learning how to paint. But yes, Georgia was very headstrong. I'm trying to think. She a lot of it was weird too because during this one documentary for Georgia, they were talking to a Native woman whose family had known and had given Georgia a skull. Because she would walk around out in the heat. She had her car, and the heat would be so incredible that she would have to climb underneath it to get away from the bugs and the bees when it got really hot and whatnot. But there are lots of pictures online of her in her car, painting in her car, all the different objects that she would paint. And she's done everything from fruit bowls to, clams. And of course, because the way she painted these, a lot of them had a female feel to them.
Right.
So for her, she was very much in touch with her sexuality, her sensuality. And even though she said that was there people looking into it,
Yeah,
I
it's
think
like
she I
most of
think
it
she
didn't
knew
even
it was.
intended to. She was just painting what she wanted to paint, and it looked that way,
Oh, so she still sticks by it on the other
Yeah,
side.
yeah,
Okay. Because when I saw it, I was like, whoa, I like her. Because in your 20s, you're learning about
right.
relationships, and you're young and whatnot.
Experiencing stuff, yeah.
Yep.
It's
That was my life.
her and I have a similar mindset for this specific particular thing of I'm just going to doodle and paint. And to me, it's like an ice cream cone, but you could say, girl, that's a body part. I'm like, it's not a body part. It's an ice cream cone. No, that's a body part. And I'm like, wait, what? Because
Mhm.
you're seeing it from a different perspective. And I've always said there's 14 ways to eat a cookie. There's more than one way to do something, and there's more than one way to see and view something.
Mhm.
And I always see it the non-obvious way. Like I see it a different way. 100 people will say it's that way, and I'll go, no, I see it
Mhm.
that way. And she had that. She likes that about me. She likes talking to me. She says that part we have a connection of, because it wasn't always intentional. It would just come out that way. And she'd say
Mhm.
people saw what they wanted to see, but that's not what I started off drawing.
That's how when I paint, people see things. And now that I've gone more working with oracle cards and tarot cards, and I'm opening up more, I'm looking at my old work now, going, hell, I remember seeing that, in there the last time. So,
She's laughing and saying, except for that one time with the mirror, but I stopped her because I don't want to know.
the
I don't
mirror.
want to know. She's showing me. I don't want to know what women do with mirrors. Please don't show me that book.
Oh, well,
I don't
oh, okay.
want to.
It's for self education, and that's all I'll say.
Right. Okay. Terrell Stash Gerald says,
Oh
I see
no,
the
I'm not
money.
ignoring your post. I'm just trying to remember everything I can think of. Because I
He
love
wants to see
people
the
don't
peak.
realize how much I love Georgia O'Keeffe
Right.
and what a major part she has played in my
Very
art
important to
since I
you.
was a young girl. I mean,
Yeah.
in high school. So this is the painting, Gerald, that I'm talking about.
Heather painted that
To
uh,
replicate,
to represent Georgia's art.
yeah, because our teacher wanted us to copy a painting as precisely as possible so that we could understand where the artist was coming from in terms of composition, image, um, how they mix color, how they proceed to, how they applied the paint, everything that goes um, into a work of art and into a certain style. And I struggled a lot, but that one finally came through, and so I was very pleased when that one,
Okay.
worked out. So, hi, Hilda.
So, on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is Georgia O'Keeffe's presence in the universe to you as an artist?
10.
Yeah.
Her and Monet are the two that influenced me the most. And there's another young woman. Her name is Erin Hansen. She is she's an impressionist. She
Okay.
changed. She says something differently. But if you saw her paintings, they blow my mind. And she's one that I really look up to. I also look up to Joan Mitchell, not Joni Mitchell, but
Joni
Joan Mitchell.
Mitchell. Pay paradise, put up a
Nope,
parking lot.
wrong one. There was an artist named Joan
Oh.
Mitchell. No I. The only thing that
I go straight to
different is
the
the I.
singer. Folky, hippie.
And
Sure.
she was just all about just slapping paint around in shapes and lines and stuff and being inspired by nature. So she's another one. But Georgia O'Keeffe for me, because I collect bones. I have drawings and paintings and things I have done in the past on with animal bones and with flowers. So she continues to highly influence, my life. And I've always asked her to help me when I do art, her and Monet, to help me be able
Yes.
to put forth what it is that I'm trying to. And I can't quite feel or yes or nay, but I always ask, for them to guide me. So I'm just going to look really quick. That was one of the pictures I wanted to use. Yes, I just love that. Just,
Okay.
I me and, hmm
So why was she showing me she was happiest in her mid 80s?
I'm thinking
Oh
that.
my God. Oh my God.
Oh, you found, I haven't seen that one yet. So there you
And
go. You
she looks
found
like
it.
mid 80s. This is okay. Hold on. I'm having a
Yeah,
moment.
very cool.
I love it when I'm like bang on like that. And I can't get the photo to shrink back down. I can't. It's stuck.
I wish I could do that. Thank you, Gerald. I
Oh, thanks,
appreciate that
Kaz,
very much.
for oh my goodness. That's it. Look at her.
Uh-huh. And
That
that's
is
one of
a
her and
female
that's one of her
Quentin Crisp.
sculptures.
That's the female Quentin Crisp. If you Google the Quentin Crisp's look, he's very like that. Hi, Uncle Patrick. How you doing? That's how she was, except she wasn't wearing a hat when I was talking to her.
Oh, she loved and I once had a bolero
Her
and
hair
it
was
got damaged and I had to have it. So I had a bolero too to walk around with and you know, my whole world. I have a book. I couldn't find it because it's still in one of the boxes, but the book is like this thick. My friend Amanda got it for me. It first came out when I was living in Arizona, and I didn't have the change for it. 'Cause it was like $100, and she did find it for me like about 6 years ago, and it's like this thick, and there are pictures of paintings in there of hers that I never even knew that she did.
right.
So, mm-hmm.
So here's the hairstyle she was wearing
Mm-hmm.
when I'm talking to her.
Yeah,
And she wasn't. She was
I lost my
like
phone.
a mid 80s-year-old woman who takes care of herself, still looks sexy and beautiful.
Yep, that
She
was
didn't
her.
look this old. She didn't look 90. She was happy, and her skin was still. She looked like a senior citizen, but she still looked
Yeah.
beautiful and not
But she was
droopy.
proud that she would walk. She was always
She
walking.
loved that she aged well. I hear.
Yep.
Sorry,
She,
what?
she ate healthy. She
There.
prided herself on walking.
That's how her hair was.
She would just, she had
She
two
looks like a
chows.
female Quentin Crisp to me, like the way she holds herself. I wonder if he was an admirer of her. I can't remember. Is that an ant on my wall? There's an ant on my wall. I'll be right back. I gotta put him outside. You don't belong
Okay.
in here, honey. Okay. I'll be right back.
Okay. So, but yes, she had quite the life. And she always wanted children. And Stieglitz told her no. And part of the reason why he didn't want her to have children was because he saw, I guess it nearly killed his sister, and and motherhood was very rough on another one of his female family members, and he felt that it would keep her from her art. And I'm not for men telling women what they can and cannot do with their bodies. And obviously, Georgia knew that he was right and that she had to make a choice, because Georgia would have, being as headstrong as she was, if she had truly wanted to go ahead and do that, she would have, I believe. But she knew how much, like I did, my career, everything would have been more important to me than having children. I was never really inclined to ever wanting them. And I wanted my life to be focused solely on art. So I can understand, that point of view. So they never had kids. And I think he had a couple. No, he actually didn't have. Yes, he did have a wife and a child with them, but with the divorce and everything. But George's life, I mean, traveling all the way out to the Southwest. And back then, there were no highways. She had to take a train. And then with the train, there was, they started having the cars with the Model Ts and stuff that she drove. But back then, no paved roads. There were no major towns. Here's this woman all by herself, you know, um, living by herself. She had, farm hands coming to help her and whatnot. But like my one card said, protection. She knew she was protected, and that this place, the Southwest, was her sanctuary. And I've lived out there, not in New Mexico, but I passed through, and I lived in Arizona, and it is another world out there. It's absolutely beautiful. And one of my bucket um, list is to actually visit her ghost ranch and her museum, because they let people go in and look through the windows to see, her studio and everything. And I don't know, since the world's kind of getting back from, with COVID and everything and lockdowns, before the lockdown, they had a program where you could apply to paint out in Georgia O'Keeffe's courtyard, and that was like a one weekend. And so if at some point, I'm going to look, because that would be one of those bucket list things. I just would love to go to the land and sit where she painted, um, and looked at the landscape and just connect with her and the land, you know. So that's a dream of mine.
All right. Well, talk to her. You can talk to her anytime and have her come visit you and sit with you and have tea. Seriously. 11121 on the timer. Right? How was the Canadian wandering wall raisin? That's funny. I'm not going to remember that. I need to remember that.
That is so funny. Oh my god.
He was good. He was quick, and I had a coffee lid, and he was running around. I'm like, calm down. Give me time to get you outside before you start crawling up all over me, and then I lose you. So he stopped, and then I put him outside. And then I had to go pee. And you know when you have like the longest pee of your life? I didn't know I had that much liquid in me. TMI.
Yeah, surprising.
I was like, what? It's like, I gotta get back to the. I only had like coffee. I don't know what's going on, but anyway.
Yes. Okay.
I'm much better now. Thank you. She
was
supporting selling that piece of art. I agree, Gerald. I gave her a whole speech on you want to sell your art, but I don't want to sell my art. Well, then what is happening? Because you're sending the universe confusing messages.
I know. I have to let go of that one. I've held it to my heart. But a lot of people, my teacher, my mentor, that was one of the first paintings that I did that pleased her, that made her happy, that showed her that I was developing, I was learning, and it gave me such confidence and joy whenever, when I did that. And when I look at it, I love pulling out and telling people, look what I did, so it is a part that's hard to let go of, but JJ and I will talk.
Yeah, I'm just going to throw it out there because I know Gerald would want me to say it. Okay, I'll speak for me. When I sold pieces that I didn't want to sell and I sold them, the universe went, good for you. Now you're going to sell your art. And holy mackerel, did I ever sell art after that? Like whenever I wanted to sell it, I sold it because I took that step and sold something I didn't want to sell. Now you can have I took photos of it. So I have backup photos. I have photos of my art in my drive. Okay.
She's got photos.
And I am so happy that I released the original arts to people who wanted to buy it. You know how I call them like mini Horcruxes, art Horcruxes? I've literally put stuff in the free pile for garbage when I was moving, and I had all this art, and I'm like, I only sold a certain amount on a yard sale, couldn't sell the rest. I put it outside, and really nice stuff that I couldn't sell, Boom, it was snatched up in a second. Like when I went back to the house to go get more stuff to put on the curb, it was gone. Like painted beautiful peacock art. I'll show you photos.
But didn't it hurt
On
that
a
you
chair.
couldn't get money for those?
I sold a bunch at the yard sale. Every time I move, I have a huge everything must go sale, right? I like to start fresh, only take the basics, as little as possible, and start fresh. So the art I couldn't sell, I knew my guides are like, listen, your art is supposed to go out of your hands into other people, whether you sell it or not. Stick it on the side of the road. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, I'm
like,
gonna have to.
Trust me. Because now the people who have that art, my art is all over the world, girl. Right? Because I took that step and said, I'm going to release you. I didn't need to make money from that particular art. I made money other ways, or I sold another piece unexpectedly for twice as much and got all my money back. The universe, your guides will provide and help you balance that out. It's the letting go of your babies. If you're showing the universe that you're not going to let go of your art babies, then you're not going to make a profit from it. And I'm not trying to lecture you. I feel Georgia.
Can you believe that?
Listen, it's art. You can create something better and more. Take photos of it. The whole point of your art and people wanting it is, oh, I need that art. And you should be like, oh, okay, I'll sell it to you. Right? You know what I mean? But if you're having a problem with it, then if you want to keep it, obviously keep it. But yes, there's other ways. There's lithographs, posters, prints. But just the fact that when someone wants your stuff, whoops. What, Gerald?
You guys, I know if I will reach out to Gypsy JJ. We will make a deal. Yes, we will work a price out. Yes. This has been a year of emotion. This last couple, well, this past month with moving and going through everything and letting go of stuff. It has been a very emotional and trying month, let me tell you. So there's a lot of transitioning and changes going on that I'm working through. But yes, I understand, and I would say the same thing to another artist. When it's something that you've held on to you've held to yourself for how many years,
I know. I did that too.
It was like a shock for me out of the blue when JJ said that. And that's why I was kind of like,
you need time to process. I get it.
Yeah.
I had an art chair. I didn't paint it, but it was a very expensive gift of a Biscotti chair. What would you call them? Adirondack chair, painted in fairy decoupage. It was everything to me. And I schmiegled that chair for years. Then when I was no longer with that person and I needed to move, I was a single mom and we needed to move. I needed money. First thing I thought of was, and every time I wanted to sell the chair, I'm like, no, I can't part with it. I can't part with it. So 10 years later, I look at it and go, ugh, I so need the money right now. And I'm done with the energy of the chair. It played out its energy. So, okay, Gerald. You called me and I was like, wait, what?
I can come and hug it anytime. Well, I don't think you live.
Oh, we got a message from Tarot Sachet. Okay, hold on. Yes. Hold on. You ready? May I play a message from Miss Tarot Sachet? Incoming. One ringy dingy. You ready? You want it or no?
Yeah.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah. Here we go. I love Gerald.
Girl. It's time. It's time to let that artwork fly. Girl. Be holding it down. No piece of artwork needs to be kept in a closet.
No.
Right?
How did you know it was in a closet?
I love you, Tarot Sachet.
If y'all saw what was behind me, oh my God.
I'm keeping this forever. I need to play this again. I'm sorry, but Georgia wants me to play it again.
It's time. It's time to let that artwork fly. Girl, don't be holding it down. No piece of artwork needs to be kept in a closet.
We need like a whole half-hour program of Tara Sachet just giving her advice, wanted or unwanted. Just say what you should be doing.
Do it.
I need it. Right. Ben agrees.
No,
Need
I
more
just
Tara
saw someone
Sachet.
get a little rough in the chat. Shut up, Kaz. What's going on here?
What? Oh no, they're
I
playing,
know.
I think. Yeah.
Paint it again and sell the second one after 25 years. It's like a per painting.
Right. Imagine what can be made to fill that gap. Gerald says, right? That's the thing. Thank you for pointing that out, Gerald. Once I got rid of that stuff and started selling everything, like I just said, okay, team, I give it to you. And then they're like, oh, you're willing to let us help you sell it? Boom, sold it. Girl, I have been on a nonstop. I mean, I've been creative my whole life, but ever since 2013, after I started doing that, my neighbor gave me a bunch of free, like really expensive art stuff. She's like, here, I'm not using it. Here, I'm like a $40 brush and an $80 paint. And I went to town and I made tables and decoupage and anything I could get my hands on to paint the walls. I literally painted the walls. And the more I got into this creative flow, I was like, I didn't know I could do that. I didn't know that came out of me. And you channel and your team and your guides help you because you're willing to make the art to let it go.
Oh yeah, I have lots of art. Would love to let go. Let it go. But it
just
was me
sell
by
your
surprise.
art out
That's
there.
all.
Right before the live, you said I have too much art. And I said, well, why don't you sell it?
Well,
and then
actually,
that
my friend
happened.
Amanda told me I should get a manager. So I have a friend of mine who used to manage Philip Burke, and I'm going to reach out to her and see if she can recommend any managers and that might be interested in working with me to help me get my work out there. Philip Burke is really still popular, and he gets represented here in Buffalo. So yeah, because we have a lot of famous individuals from Buffalo that people don't know about. And what was so cool, I know we're going a little over time, but when I was at Buff State for art for my degree in the 90s, I would go up to the floor where they had all the fine art books and stuff in the library, and I would pull out this one book on oh, now that his name is leaving me, Charles Clough. And I was like, oh, this is cool because he was abstract and everything. I come back here from Arizona, and who do I meet? I didn't realize he was Buffalo. And I actually have.
Is it
now,
Buffalonian? Is that what you say?
He's a Buffalonian.
Buffalonian.
And I actually now have one of his pieces of art on a postcard. I asked if I could have one, and he went out to. He did that for several of us, and like he started following me, and then he started making comments on mine, and I was just kind of like, dude, So yeah, it feels
fangirling. Well, did you see Barb's Wheel of Fortune wrote, you can make prints and sell those. My favorite artist sells works as tea towels and prints and mugs.
I want to do scarves, silk scarves. I do have a friend, her and her husband have made beautiful prints of my work for a couple of medical buildings just before COVID hit. And so she has a whole bunch of my work on file so that if any of their clients who needs work for their offices, they'll contact her. They'll go through her images, and hopefully I'll get it. Buffalonia sounds like something for you to make.
Right. Now I want wings. I haven't had wings in forever.
But yeah, Ani DeFranco, the Goo Goo Dolls,
amazing
scarf.
Yeah, that painting of yours would make a beautiful scarf.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But also, I have to be careful too because that does look a lot like a Georgia, and I have to be careful of copyright. So I don't think I would be able to necessarily really reproduce that.
She did say a little splash of color. Remember? When you showed it the second time, I heard her say, tell Heather a little splash of color. So if you add your own extra splash of color, you don't have to do it on the pit. You can do it on take a digital photo of it and add it on there. Oh, Each one is unique. So one person will have an orange splash, another will have a purple splash.
Yeah.
You can get fancy. There's free
Yeah.
apps. I use all the free stuff, and I
I'm
can do it.
learning. Yeah,
You
and
can.
I'm learning Canva finally. So yay! Every time I like something in Canva says you got to buy this, I'm like,
There's a
if
way
I buy it, I'll
around
just
stuff.
make it my yeah.
I watch the videos for free to download stuff for free with no watermark. I know my way around some of these free apps. There's tricks you can learn and not be intimidated by having to feel pressure to buy them.
Teach me.
Buy them. Yeah, you like click, like point, click, point, stick your tongue out, close your eye, and turn around, and then you get it. And then it says, "Oh, you've downloaded this without the watermark."
Yeah.
Hi, hugger greeter, how you doing?
Hey, Hugger
Kitty.
TK. So let's see. We
Thank
started
you,
at
Heather.
5:30,
This
so-
was
Yes.
fabulous, and I can't wait to. I mean, the info you shared is great, and thank you, Georgia, for letting me channel your
Yes.
messages. I'm gonna Google and research her the way I wanted to. Now that I'm done the reading, I can get into that.
Oh, okay.
There isn't a bidding war for the art, is there? It's going to be a Gypsy Terrasache wants a silk scarf, right? Girl, it's hot. Everybody wants your stuff. It's hot. Get on it.
Yep.
I'm telling you.
Yes, yes, yes.
Right?
And
If you provide it, they will purchase.
Yes.
Oh.
And a lot of my work is on Instagram. I have some of my work. I have quite a bit of my work on Facebook, but I have a lot of my art on Instagram, and I have a friend who's trying to get me into TikTok. But
right?
There's some good things about
There's a lot
TikTok,
of TikTok pushers out there. I'm telling you.
Yes.
They're like, girl, you need to get on TikTok. I'm like, I don't do social media. No, you need to get on TikTok. I'm like, I don't do that.
Yeah, she said within 2 months she was up to over 2,000 followers. Wow. Your name catches that quick. So we'll see. But
I'll make the content, and somebody else who knows who they are can put it out there. I'm not doing it. I haven't. Buttons don't like me. Okay, I push the wrong button and the whole thing gets deleted. We know this.
Yep, that happens to me.
Gerald says, you all know Heather is going to get off here and prep 3 more canvases of inspired art. Prove me wrong, Heather.
I don't have any canvases, but I do have lots of paper.
Gonna help you. Georgia's right there. She's ready to help.
Okay.
And stars. Remember, she likes stars now.
Yes.
Cosmos.
Awesome.
Thank you, Heather.
Alrighty.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, TANJI. I hope everybody enjoyed it.
I love you guys. This was so much fun.
And they're great documentaries of Georgia, especially a long one. It's about an hour and a half. And they talk about, how they had Georgia as a guest at Judy Chicago's women's table and everything back in the 80s. Just really, if you don't know who Judy Chicago is, check her out. She's still with us. She's amazing. And I guess we'll end with Cat Butt. And
Cat Butt. And Heather, Teresa says you need to hang your art as your backdrop so we can see it and buy it.
Yes.
Just get some twine and clothespins. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Thumbs up, everybody. Thank you, Heather.
Yes, thank you for coming, everybody. Shawn, Hilda, everyone.
Thank you
so
Fuzzy
much.
Butt.
I love doing these. And we'll see everybody later.
Bye.
Bye. My hand goes in the way.